Most people are mineral depleted because the villi, which allows the body to digest food, is clogged up. Now, often when people think of mineral depletion, the first thing they reach for is a supplement. But before you reach for a supplement, you really need to consider, can your body actually absorb it? So a supplement may be a short-term fix, but is not a long-term solution. What clogs up the villi is gluten, chemicals, bacterial imbalance, processed food, certain medications, poor digestion, deficiencies in sulfur-containing amino acids. Your body actually needs minerals in order to detoxify. So this is where we get the anti-inflammatory diet, where you're eating foods that are not inflaming the villi. And generally speaking, these are fairly similar for most people. And this is where we get into the diet wars because people react differently to different foods. Additionally, we have the problem that the soil is very depleted and there are also a lot of toxic chemicals that are used in growing food. Now you may think that just because you eat animal products that, well, they don't contain chemicals or pesticides, but actually they do because they're actually absorbed by the animal when the animal eats the vegetation that has been sprayed on, and it actually accumulates in their bodies. So the health of humans actually starts in the soil. Because we don't have healthy soil that has the minerals in it and the bacterial balance in there, we actually become minerally depleted because the food we ingest also doesn't have those minerals. Now, a big thing I learned through this whole process of healing my heart was that gluten is incredibly damaging to the villi. And I also discussed this with Andy and Karli of Macro Medical in our latest podcast at healthallianceaustralia.org, where they cured their son of a fatal diagnosis of aplastic anemia. Now, for those of you who don't know what aplastic anemia is, it's a bone marrow disorder. It is terminal, and this is a big win. And they did this on the backdrop of a lot of medical pressure to use the allopathic method of disease management, not actually going towards the root cause. So we discuss a lot of things in our interview, including a pulse test to work out what foods you're actually reacting to. I also have an article on uncensoredwisdom.com talking about the cure for all diseases. Now, circling back to my water fast of 19 days, you can see how water fasting is incredibly beneficial because it gives the gut a rest and a chance for the villi to recover and to heal. Now, you can imagine, depending on the individual and how clogged up their villi is, it will take much longer water fast if your villi is incredibly damaged and clogged up with waste. The reason why a lot of people can't do a water fast initially is because they are so minerally depleted that they are unable to detoxify properly, and they need to actually begin a new process or prepare properly for a water fast using an anti-inflammatory diet.